Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. The Bitcoin chart hasn't really moved since the last update. I gave you an idea for a micro count for this blue structure. That is unchanged. So we're going to take a look at the options, but overall, it's a quiet start to the week for Bitcoin. And not very volatile. So Bitcoin might be working on a small triangle here. We're going to take a look at that now. Overall, if you watch my videos, then you know that the minimum requirements for a 5-wave move to the upside here have been fulfilled. The microstructure isn't entirely clear, but that's why we're using the Fibonacci levels in addition to understand when ideal targets have been reached and minimum targets and so on. The minimum targets for this move to the upside of the 11th of September low have been reached and achieved, so the risk for a deeper pullback in wave 2 has increased. It's too early to say the wave 2 has started. In fact, I'm slightly leaning towards another extension higher before we come down, but we are basically where we need to be, so it could literally happen anytime. I think the message is to just be ready for that deep pullback, and how you deal with that strategically, that of course depends on your own personal situation. But I shared with you already ideas, for example, holding on to a core position, but taking some partial profits of short-term positions in this area might be reasonable. But if you do that, obviously depends on your own situation, depends on your entry points, your exposure, and your objectives, okay? There is not really a right or wrong way of doing so, but Bitcoin has moved significantly off the November lows last year and also most recently. So if anybody bought anything during the bear market, you just might want to consider to take some partial profits, because this wave 2 is on the horizon. Now, again, I can only point out the risk. I cannot point out when exactly it will start or has started. This still suggests for me another extension higher, but again, we've fulfilled minimum expectations. Hopefully that sort of comes across. There are still 2 wave counts in which we can get another extension, but the support areas are defined. This is not a fixed area yet. It's defined between $27,290 and $32,330. So we can get a shallow wave 2, we can get a deep wave 2. Bitcoin's wave 2s have been quite shallow historically. So just be ready for a shallow wave 2. When everybody expects a shallow one, we get a deep one. Key is that in a wave 2, people will assume the bear market is back. And if everybody assumes that, then the wave 2 has done its job. That's essentially what a wave 2 is for. Before then, the rally can continue. It is there to frustrate people and to scare people. So now looking at the shorter time frame, this wave 1 can get another extension. That's sort of when we zoom in and really look at the micro perspective. Doesn't really affect the bigger picture, but a lot of you are interested in a micro perspective. So here there are 2 suggested ways, roadmaps, how another extension can be achieved. For example, in the blue count, which suggests that we are basically in this 5th wave here. And in the 5th wave, we had a wave 1, which topped here on the 6th of November. We had a wave 2, which bottomed at around 34,530 on Tuesday, the 7th of November. Then we had a 3rd wave. We might be now in a wave 4, still this triangle I shared with you yesterday. We need to see minimally a break above 37,516 to suggest the triangle is breaking to the upside. Better would be a break above basically 38K or 37,960. And then we can get that one more extension in wave 5. However, this wave count will get invalidated with a break below 35,860. And then there's really only the yellow count left, which suggests that this ABC structure unfolded as a flat structure, and the wave 4 never finished here, and the wave 5 is still to come. But yeah, below that ascending trend line, I think probabilities strongly start to shift towards the idea that the larger degree wave 2 has started. So those are the things we need to be watching for today. There isn't really much more to say. In the last video, I covered the daily chart, I covered Bitcoin dominance, so you might want to explore this video for a little bit more context, but not much happens, so it would be very repetitive. So I just give you a brief overview here as we're heading into the new week. Bear in mind, tomorrow we have the interest rate decision as well, so that could generate some volatility. I don't know, it might be a quiet day before the not interest rate decision, inflation. Yeah, not enough coffee yet. So it might be quiet before we get inflation data. We'll see. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.